It's understood Harry and William have no plans to meet, while the Duke of Sussex is in London.
Earlier today, we saw for the first time since news was shared of his diagnosis, the King. He left Clarence House in a car with Camilla. They were driven here to Buckingham Palace, where it's thought they got into the royal helicopter, which was then headed towards Sandringham, his private estate in Norfolk. Just before the King and Queen left here, and they were seen waving to the crowds who'd gathered by the gates, the King had a meeting with Prince Harry. We know that the King, before the news was shared publicly that he had cancer, had spoken privately and personally to each of his siblings and to his two sons, Princes William and Prince Harry. And we had a statement from Prince Harry's team in America that he'd had this conversation with the King, that he was planning on coming to the UK. Well, Prince Harry took a flight landing earlier today, made his way in a small convoy straight to Clarence House, where he met with the King for around 45 minutes of time, which is incredible because we really haven't seen much of Harry recently. A huge amount of talk about the rift between the two and the problems with that relationship. Where this relationship is now, we don't know, but certainly the two had this meeting. The King and Queen now on their way to Sandringham.
There's absolutely no hint of reconciliation. His wife is the most bitter, unreconciled woman there is. He'll be told that in any case, there's no future for him.
And I'm told that William's real rage is about what Harry wrote about his wife.
He's right, but he's absolutely right.
Yeah, he is.
What he wrote was absolutely grotesque.
Yeah.
Only for money.
Yeah.
And he's been terrible about his father as well.
But I don't think we should be too suspicious about a son wanting to have contact with his aging, ill father. I think that is a very simple familial transaction, whatever water's gone under the bridge. I think it's all too easy to cast aspersions, and one hopes that Charles is larger-hearted.
Well, the aspersions are cast because of the track record of Harry and his wife in the last 4 or 5 years.
He dashed off after the coronation. He was pretty
But they haven't missed a chance to sell trash about their family.
And not only that, he briefed Omid Scobie for the second book, which was a disgraceful book. We discussed that at the time.
Totally
he would have got it in the neck if he hadn't come. I mean,
Yes,
you said
that's
earlier,
true.
you know, damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. I think the jury stays out until we see how this trip is over. Does he use it as an opportunity to grandstand, or is
What
it
does
really?
the king really feel about this situation with Harry, and also about the situation between his two sons?
With Harry, its door is always open territory. He is forgiving. He is not one to feud on this. I think he'd much rather take a bit of a hit and have a much more normal relationship. When it comes to the brothers, I think he views it as, look, that's for William. I can't sort of step in here.
What about Camilla in all this? Because she's had to step up now, not just with the duties she's performing, may take on some of the king's, but also this is the love of her life who is facing this enormous personal health challenge.
Sure, but as you know, Piers, Camilla's a broad-shouldered woman. She's a mother herself. Things get complicated. We know that Harry retreated into his bedroom.
Well, I'm really talking to you actually about her feelings about what's going on with Charles.
Oh, right. Well, I think what's interesting about Camilla is the way in which she's risen to the occasion. She's had these solo events. She looks impeccable. It doesn't even look like she's having this sort of personal storm going on in her private life. And I think that this will reframe her in many ways. And it will also, I think, help set the tone for Harry's re-entry. Those two, they're mature adults, Camilla and Charles. They want this.
Well, Tom, one thing's
better.
for sure, they will know better than anybody that you can be very disliked by the British public and bring things back.